Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michaela. If you did not know that, I have cystic fibrosis, a genetic terminal illness, and I post videos on here that are informational and mostly positive. That's what I'm all about, is positivity, so keep that in mind going into the next video. Now, I have realized something recently. It is also Mental Health Awareness Month. As it is May, that is also CF Awareness Month. If you are not aware, I did just post a video about a day in the life of me with cystic fibrosis and what it looks like, what I do every day, all day. So if you'd like to see that, I'll post it above or below if I can figure it out. Now, I thought to myself, should I be posting something like this? Is this negative? Since I'm all about positivity, like, that's all I want is for people to start spreading positivity when it comes to their lives, just because there's so much negativity. Let's be positive for once. So I thought, should I not post this? But then I thought to myself, it's all about awareness, you know? And my CF has a lot to do with mental health illness, and my mental health illness has a lot to do with my CF. Honestly, I think if I didn't have CF, it probably would not have happened. However, I have CF, and we are where we are. But anyways, I don't want this to be a downer. I want this to just make you aware, even though this is a sad story about a sad time in my life. I am at a beautiful place. I do not struggle with mental health illness. I am happy. I have an amazing husband, and an amazing family, and an amazing life, and I think that just all comes together to make me happier than I've ever been. With all that being said, I want you to remember this is about positivity and learning. So please do not pity me or feel sad for me during this video. I just kind of wanted to share my experience with you to make everybody else aware about mental health illness during the month of May in association with cystic fibrosis, because they do go hand in hand. And so to start off, growing up, I had doctor's appointments every 3 to 4 months at least, and every time they would ask me or my parents how my mental health was doing, if I was struggling anymore, feeling sad. And like, when you're growing up, you don't really understand those feelings anyway. So probably when I was a preteen, maybe a little older, I was in the hospital, and I reconnected with someone that I had previously kind of grew up with that had CF. She was 30, I believe, and I was young, and we would call each other on the hospital phone, we would talk to each other, and we would like just bond, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, I got discharged and she didn't. And so a little bit of time went by once I was home, and I forgot I hadn't talked to her in a while. So I called her hospital room, and there was nobody there. And I was like, well, that's super weird. So a little bit more time goes by. I kept trying and no answer. And one day I was hanging out with a friend at my house. I assume my parents set all this up originally. And they sat me down and they told me that she had sadly passed away. Now, when I was sitting there, like, all these emotions hit me at once. Like, I felt like I was going to hyperventilate, and I didn't know what was going on because I was too young. But I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed for like a solid minute, and then I pulled myself together and I said, I'm fine. Problem number one. So I went about my business. And after that, I was kind of hopeless. I thought to myself, why am I even here? Like, if she can be taken that quickly, someone that I wasn't even that close to, mind you, but we had this bond and she had what I had. So did that mean I was going to die? These are the things that my head went through. And I just got angrier, and I got angrier and angrier, and I was just so mad at everything. I was mad that she was gone. I was mad that I had CF. I was mad. I was just mad. And I thought to myself, like, I am worthless. I have no point. I am here to die. Solely. That is it. Oh, how wrong I was, mind you, but I didn't know at the time. And I didn't tell anyone this. I went through the motions, crying and just being angry and sad alone for a very long time. And then as I got a little bit older, I learned how to take out a little bit of that anger and that sadness on my own body. And I chose things that wouldn't seem super obvious. So this time is going on, and I'm doing this stuff to my body, and I'm thinking that's helping me feel better and heal, and I'm still in this mindset that I am worthless. Like, I am here solely to die. I stopped taking my medications, I stopped doing my treatments, and I told myself, what is the use? Why be here anyway? So all of this time, my family doesn't really know what's going on. I'm treating my mother badly, yes. I'm acting out. I'm not acting like myself. I'm having more fits where I just like fall apart and I cry at stupid things and I just can't control my emotions or my anxiety. Time goes on. And eventually I meet someone and I tell them about this self-harm that I'm doing. And I felt comfortable telling them because they had been through it and they had told me. And they had told me they had gotten through it. And I was like, yeah, okay. But anyway, so time goes on and I was just fed up. I was fed up. I was like, why am I here? I have all these emotions. I'm never happy. Like, I'm a waste of space. And I did something and I took some medication that I shouldn't have took at a dosage that I thought was going to be the final medication I ever took. And I go to this event with this big group of people, the one person that I trusted, and she noticed something was going on with me, and she was like, what did you do? And I didn't tell her at first. I said, nothing, no, fine. And then I passed her a note. And I wrote down what I did. And she didn't really react. And then all of a sudden my mom came and got me. And I remember sitting in a staircase with my mom and she cried. And cried and cried and cried. She would just seem so sad. And I've never seen my mother that sad. But I understand why. I didn't really know then. I mean, I knew she loved me, but like my brain was all over the place. So she tells me, she's like, Michaela, we have to take you to a hospital. And I fell apart. I was like, no way. I was sobbing. I was like, no way I'm going to a hospital. I was so ashamed of what I had done. No one could know. No one could know. And that stigma is another part of why I wanted to do this, because even to this day, some of my family doesn't know that this happened, so. But anyways, so at that time in my life, I was on a specific medication that I wasn't taking, and I was supposed to take high doses of it. It was an experiment. And my mom called the doctor, and she told them exactly, I was completely honest, I told them exactly how much I took, and it turned out that it wasn't going to cause me any damage because it was actually close to, if not the dose I was supposed to take daily. It was supposed to be split up, but I was supposed to take that daily on this investigation med thing. So they were like, watch her, and if something happens, bring her in. So now my parents know, my doctors know, everybody knows. And at that point, I had to lay it all out. The signs were there, but I denied them. One day my brother looked at my arm, and he was like, whoa, what happened to your arm? There are a bunch of scratches and marks. And I told him, oh, my dog. We were playing around and she got me. That was not the truth, but it was a good excuse, and it worked. So I thought he might have thought something of it, but maybe he brushed it off because I did not act like that type of person. So after this happens, my parents kind of put this game plan together, and they didn't take me to a hospital. They got a plan for me to go talk to some people. Different people. I went through many different people and I talked to many different people, but after this, things changed. I remember a few days after the incident, I came up to my room and my dad was laying on my bed and he asked me very specific questions about very specific things that I had been doing and why and what I was using and what he could do to help. And even just that was the most, he just laid in the bed next to me and he held me. And it was just, my parents, they went above and beyond, like you don't even know. And I knew from stories I had heard from them that they knew what I was going through because they had been through it growing up. They knew. So after that, I went and saw some people and I thought it was getting better and I would go back to my old actions a few different times, but I never really got over it right away. Like, it doesn't just go away. And after that, I clung on to any person in my life that treated me like something special, even if it was someone that was bad, that treated me like I was something special and then treated me like trash. I clung on to those people because that was my outlet then. People caring for me was my outlet. That was like, that's what's keeping me here, is people that actually need me, because I needed to feel needed. And due to that, I let somebody in my life that I shouldn't have. And it led to some things that I really wish never happened, but you know what? That's a different story. And I have forgiven myself for all of those actions. I have forgiven myself for the self-harm. I have forgiven myself for the suicidal thoughts. I have forgiven myself for the depression. I have forgiven myself of all of it. And now that I'm an adult and I'm on the other side, it's amazing to me, my actions. It's amazing to me that I felt like that, because I feel great now. And it's so crazy that it all started because of this disease that I thought would control me. But here I am today, and I am in control, and I am happy. And I just really want you to know that CF will cause mental illness if it can. It will happen. And for some people it's worse than others, and thankfully for me, I came out of it, and I'm amazingly happy, and I don't think those thoughts ever. But there just needs to be a little bit more awareness that these things are very serious, and they are avoidable. So I just really hope that this can teach you something. I know I bounced all around because I don't like thinking about this. I've forgiven myself for this, and I've let it go. And that's why I am where I am today. But I really hope that you learned something, and I really hope that if you have someone in your life that's showing any signs, just talk to them. And if they won't talk to you, just try to set up a game plan with the people that love them, and don't attack them, because sometimes that doesn't work. But it can just take one person, because if you have that one person, they will be your saving grace, just like that one person was for me. And I'm so thankful for her. I'm so thankful she said something, even though it was embarrassing and scary. I'm so thankful, because without that, I would not be out of it. I would not be where I am today without that stepping stone. So I really hope you learned something from this. I hope this spreads a little bit more awareness, and I want you to be happy to know that I came out on the other side, and I don't deal with any of it anymore. And I am the happiest I have ever been. And I plan to become happier, and I plan to have children and grandchildren and just all of that. And you know what? If I let that mental illness overcome me, I would not be able to say that. So I'm so glad that I pushed, because if I knew back then that I'd be where I was today, none of those actions would have happened. None of them. So just hold on. If you're struggling, hold on. Reach out. There is greater things to come, even if you can't see them. And I love everyone who took the time to watch this, and I hope that you're doing well. If you'd like to see anything else, let me know. Like I said in the intro, comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to share some stories. I would love to hear them. And spread positivity, please. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this. I'm sorry it was sad. That's the last of the sadness. And I'll see you guys later.